On this episode of the Whiskey Tornado, we review Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host, Lance. Today, we are reviewing Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. Yes, I know this isn't Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye, but I do have a sample here from one of our Patreons, Tony B. Thank you so much. I am so excited to get into this for a couple of reasons. For those of you that follow the channel, you'll know I did a double blind a few weeks ago, and it was a rye flight submitted by Brian Beam. In that flight, he had Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. I placed it last. There are so many whiskey tubers who love this rye, who are placing it super high. In that video, I commented that I thought it was ultra aged and bourbon, and I just looked as silly as possible. Tony watched the video and said, man, you must have had like an off-profile bottle or something. Let me send you what I've got and do another review and see how it goes. So that's why we're here. I took a lot of shit in the comments for that for that review. One of them comes from AMAZZAJR. He said, guess you didn't like the JD single barrel rye, you know, since it's an overaged bourbon. And I responded, yes, I deserve all the crap you can give me for that review. But what we think is either the bottle that Brian sent me wasn't cleaned out all the way, or he just had an off-profile bottle that just isn't as good as some of the other stuff. So I did taste a little bit of this, and it does not even taste close to the bottle that Brian sent me. Brian's bottle was definitely more like funky and just tasted like was much more tannicky, much more drying on the palate than what Tony sent me. So let's get into this. If you guys are not familiar with our scoring system here on the Whiskey Tornado, we rate everything 0 to 1, 0.5 being average. We have 6 categories: appearance, nose, palate, finish, availability, and value. Anything that scores 3 or better is bar worthy. Anything 4 or better is bunkersome. All right, so with all that being said, let's get into the appearance of Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. This is the Barrel Proof Bourbon, which I think is just a beautiful bottle. It really stands out. I love everything about it. It's about as nice of a presentation as you can get for the money that you're paying for what's in the bottle. I would give it a 0.9 on appearance. The Barrel Proof Rye is the same, just more green on the labels and in the packaging. All right, so let's get into the good stuff here. Let's get into the nose on this Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. The nose is really nice. It's caramel. There's a lot of caramel on this. A little bit of like fingernail polish vapors, which doesn't sound good. There's some mintiness on there, almost like minty, like / eucalyptus. There's some vanilla. I get on ryes all the time, I get lemon and lime, like a citrus note of lemon and lime. So it's like Sprite, but without the fizz is what I always say. But I do get cinnamon on here. And then I get this like kind of funky tart green apple on the very end. Nose is really complex. It's pretty good, actually. I'd probably give the nose a 0.7. All right, let's get into the palate. Cheers, everybody. Rich. Again, not at all. It does not at all have those bitter, tannic, ultra aged notes that the sample Brian sent me had. Man, the finish is going on for quite a while. There's caramel. Definitely that minty rye kind of citrus notes going on. Let me take another sip. I mean, now that I know that I'm drinking Jack Daniel's, it has that kind of like banana Foster's note underneath with mint, like mint leaf or something on top. And then what I really love about this is that, like, in addition to all that, the kind of like tobacco leather notes that I get, which are really pretty nice. Yeah, man. I can't remember the proof of the bottle that Tony sent me. I think it was 130 or something. And it's pretty crushable for that proof. It drinks really nice. The mouthfeel is fantastic. It's really velvety, coating. I'm going to give the Palate a 0.7. This is good. This is really good. All right, moving on to the finish. The finish for me has that caramel, banana foster, mint, and then transitions to the back of my palate and becomes this like minty, almost like numbness because of the proof of the alcohol. I get a lot of numbing on my mid palate, a lot of that mintiness, like spearmint, eucalyptus kind of notes, and then it just goes down and then just keeps squeezing. It's a good proof. Fights you a little bit, but not too much. I would say it's better than medium on the finish, better than average for sure. I think on the finish, I'm going to give it a 0.7. All right, moving on to availability. That's where this is going to take a knock. These do pop up in my stores, but you know, a store might get only 1 or 2 bottles and they're gone as soon as they come in. So it's kind of got to be a perfect timing kind of thing. I don't think a lot of store owners are putting these on the shelves. So in order to get one, you kind of have to have a good relationship or buy a lot of alcohol from that place in order to even see one. So availability, I have not seen one, and I have relationships with a couple stores. So I'm going to give it a 0.2 since I've never seen one and haven't been able to get any yet. Now, value is where this shines if you can find it. Value, the MSRP for this bottle, I think is $65. So rye is generally more expensive than bourbon as it is. You get a barrel proof rye for $65. That's fantastic. The value is insane if you can find it. It's a 0.8 if you find it at MSRP. I haven't looked at what secondary is going for, but I'm sure it's over $200 if you find this bottle on secondary if you're really wanting it. So we'll give it a 0.8 based on MSRP. That brings the total score to a 3.9, making it bar worthy and just a notch under bunkersome. But due to the limited availability and how much people love this bottle, I think people love it more than I do. I like it. I'm not as crazy about it as a lot of people are, but I would definitely bunker some of these. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and taste it against one of my favorite ryes, and that is Pinhook Rye. It's cask strength. It's out of MGP, so it's that 95.5 rye blend. This one comes in at 114 proof. So I'm going to taste these two side by side. This is a $50 bottle and extremely easy to find. And we're going to see which one I like more. I can tell you guys on the nose, I already like Pinhook more. This is just a beautiful rye. If you guys have followed my channel, I talk about it all the time. Nobody else does. I think I'm the only one that loves it. That was the Jack Daniels. It's nice. It's nice. It's a good bourbon. I like it a lot more than the bottle Brian sent me. So I do think something was funky. Either, you know, the bottle hadn't been cleaned out totally from a sample that was in it before, or he's just got an off-profile bottle. But this is not the same bourbon as what I tasted, or not the same rye as what I tasted. All right, on to the Pinhook. Man, that Pinhook is just more citrusy. This, I think they're two different animals. This is more of your like traditional bourbon with a hint of rye. So you're gonna have more of those caramel, banana, vanilla notes with some like minty notes where the rye comes in. On the Pinhook, you do have some caramel, but you also have that lemon lime, more of that perfuminess to it. So if you like that, you're gonna love the Pinhook. But for me, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Either one are great. You can't go wrong with either one. But since Pinhook's $50 and I can find it anytime, I got to go with that. But the Jack Daniels rye is really good. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope I redeemed myself. If you like this review, please like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel a ton. If you want to support the channel a little more, feel free to join our Patreon for as little as $2 a month. We have a great crew there. Always talking bourbon, always doing fun things, doing tastings. Also, you get in for our advent calendar, all kinds of cool stuff. All right, guys, until next time, cheers.